Good day, everyone. I am Tashana Aldea Reo with my co-reporter Sir Eric Relativo, Ma'am Rose Bilin Sapilan, Ma'am Kathleen Sales, Sir Rob Roldan, and Ma'am Dimple Simogan, and we are the Group 7 of BS Ed Filipino 1. And now, we are going to report and discuss the Industrial Revolution. So what is Industrial Revolution? Industrial Revolution is a simple description or summary of the historical era. And the word technology came from the Greek word techne, meaning to say it is an art or craft. This Industrial Revolution is the transition of agriculture and handicraft economy that dominated by the industry and machine manufacture. The Industrial Revolution began in Great Britain in the 1700s. The small and large group of inventions that started in the Industrial Revolution have their roots in the textile industry. Cloth making went from home to huge factories. Many historians have recognized several reasons why Industrial Revolution began in Great Britain. Agricultural Revolution was a major event in world history and had a profound effect on the life of Britain. One of the major forces of this Industrial Revolution ay ang pagpapalago ng mas maraming pagkain. But not only they want to grow more food, to allow them to go to cities and engage in industries. They wanted to liberate people from the land, while new concepts and equipment were being created. Agricultural Revolution have new innovation and invention, including the discovery of crop rotation by Charles Townshend and the invention of the seed drill by Jethro Tull. Who is Charles Townshend? He is a British statesman, and he introduced the crop rotation in England. Moreover, he found a means to enhance farming methods, which encouraged the productions of more food. He is the one of the most important inventors of the Industrial Revolution. The importance of his invention ay sa pamamagitan ng pagtulong sa pagbabagong gawi ng agriculture. Britain's population growth was made possible by the increasing food output, and this had two positive effects on the Industrial Revolution. First is the increased population helped produce workers for the factories. Ito ay nakakatulong sa paggawa sa mga workers para sa mga pabrika at minahan. Second is the larger population created a market for goods to sold, na nakakatulong sa mga may-ari ng mga pabrika na kumita sa pagbebenta ng kanilang mga kalakal. Coal was an important factor of the industrial process since it generated the steam engine that powered train, ship, and other type of machinery. The resources was not only rich in Britain, but it was also easily available. Third is geography of the country. The country's location promoted industrialization by making it simple for manufacturing owner to move products. Building advances and the introduction of the steamboat contributed to Britain's leadership in this field. Several companies built canal networks that assisted in the expansion of Britain's transportation capacity. Canal is important for the Industrial Revolution, which led to huge volume of heavy product that needed to be transported. Canal were the solution to carrying big things across long distances. Fourth is positive political climate in 1700. Britain had a stable political climate after having gone through civil war and revolution. The government allowed child labor and did not restrict owner in terms of rules and regulation, such as minimum salary or workers' right. And last is the reason Britain was the first country to industrialize was due in large part to its vast colonial empire. By the 1700s, Britain had control over areas such as North America, South Africa, Egypt, India, and Australia. This gave Britain access to huge resources that it could then use in the factories that developed during the Industrial Revolution.
And there are four phases of Industrial Revolution. The first Industrial Revolution. The first Industrial Revolution, they called it as first wave of Industrial Revolution that lasted in late 1700s to mid 1800s, and the manufacturer of textile began to move to factories from home. Sabi nga dito, ang mga manufacturer ng mga textile ay nagpunta sa mga malalaking factories, samantalang dati ay doon lang sila sa kanilang tahanan o sa maliit nilang gawaan. Tapos dito rin sa panahong ito ay nagkaroon ng important role yung steam at yung cotton gin. At ang First Industrial Revolution ay may dalawang uri. Ang una ay the Age of Mechanical Production. At natawag itong the Age of Mechanical Production, kung saan gumagamit na sila ng mga machine or mga mechanical na produkto. Tapos dito na rin nagsimula yung nagkaroon ng mahabang oras ng pagtatrabaho yung mga tao, at ang mahirap pa ay hindi ito ligtas sapagkat gawa nga po ng mga mechanical na sila or gawa ng mga machine na ang gamit. Tapos dito rin sa panahong ito ay natuto rin magtrabaho sa mga factories yung mga kabataan. Tapos nagkaroon sila ng 14 hours na shift along the side of adult. Tapos dito rin daw po dahil nga dito sa Industrial Revolution na itong tinatawag ay nagkaroon ng advancing sa industrialization, nakagawa sila sa middle class ng mga skilled workers. Ang pangalawa naman pong uri ng First Industrial Revolution ay tinawag na the Age of Science and Mass Production, kung saan dito naman po na-invento yung mga key production or key invention, yung mga gamit na ginagamitan ng mga susi. Tapos dito rin po na-invento yung tinatawag na gasoline engines katulad ng airplane, at saka yung mga fertilizer na ginagamitan ng mga makina na nga at ng makina na di gasolina. Tapos dito rin po, ito rin namang mga invention na ito ay malaking tulong din naman to sa mga tao ditong panahong ito. Nakakatulong siya sa mga tao sa panahong ito sapagkat mas madami ang nagagawa nila na produkto, sapagkat may tulong nga po noong mechanical na ito or itong invention nilang ito, may naging tulong na nagbibigay sa kanila or nakakatulong sa kanila na mas mapabilis pa nga yung trabaho. At dito rin po nag-spread yung tinatawag na automation and digitization, kung saan gumagamit yung mga electronic and computers. Gumagamit po sila noon kasi dahil nga sa inventong yun, nagkaroon na sila ng mga invention ng mga computer at mga electronic. Tapos dito rin sa panahong ito, yung na-invento nila yung internet. At saka dito rin po sa panahong ito, na-discover nila yung nuclear energy. Sa the Age of Science and Mass Production, dito nila na-invento lahat ng yun. At dito naman po sa early part ng 20th century, yung Ford po na kumpanya ay naka-invento sila ng unang-unang invention nila ng car. At ang tawag dito sa car na ito ay yung Model T car nila, kung saan inilabas at groundbreaking ang sasakyang itong na-invento ni Henry Ford. Si Henry Ford po ang may-ari ng Ford Company. Siya nga po ang naka-invento nitong car na ito, at ito ay yung talagang nakilala sa panahong ito, nakilala ang sasakyang ito. sapagkat ito nga yung una ding sasakyan na gumagamit ng gasolina. At ang second industrial revolution naman po ay tinawag na the age of science and mass production. Second industrial revolution po ay yung second wave of industrial revolution that took place the mid-1800 to early 1900s. Tapos dito rin po yung kung saan sinasabi na yung malalaking industrial revolution that took place the mid-1800 to early 1900s. Ito po sinasabi na kung saan yung malalaking kumpanya at mga factories ay nagsimula po silang gumamit ng mga technology. At ang mga technology na ginagamit nila ay yung makakatulong sa kanila para mag-produce ng mga goods. Sa second industrial revolution, sinasabi na dito na invento yung pinakamahalagang invention kung saan ang na-invento nila yung electricity. Dahil nga po sa panahong ito ay meron ng na-invento nilang electricity or gamit na electricity, nagkaroon ng increasing of urbanization. Di lamang po electricity ang mga na-invento nitong second industrial revolution, kundi yung mga electric lightning, tapos radyo, tapos telephone, kung saan yung mga telepono at yung mga ininventong yun ay ginagagamit o naging parte na ng mga tao ngayon. Katulad na lamang ng telepono, dahil sa invensyong telepono, ang mga tao ay naging bahagi na ang invensyong ito sa kanilang mga pang-araw-araw na buhay. O naging bahagi na po mismo sa kanilang buhay. Katulad na lang po natin ngayon. Yan sa panahon ngayon, diba, napakalaking tulong po sa atin ng telepono dahil sapagkat ang telepono ang nagiging isang way natin para makausap natin ang ating mga mahal sa buhay na malayo sa atin. Kaya po napakalaking tulong ng inventong telepono sa atin. At dahil dito sa second industrial revolution na mga invensyong ito ay nag-transform the way of people live and communication.
Third Industrial Revolution, are also called Digital Revolution. But before anything else, what is Digital Revolution? The transition from mechanical and analog to digital electronics, which started in the second half of the 20th century with the adaptation and widespread use of digital computers and record keeping and is still going strong today, is known as the Digital Revolution. Nangyari ang Third Industrial Revolution noong 1900s at sinasabing dito nagsimulang umusbong ang mga makabagong kagamitan at bersyon ng teknolohiya. Third Industrial Revolution characterized as the spread of automation and digitization through the use of electronics and computers and the invention of internet and the nuclear energy. Sa madaling salita, sa pagpasok ng Industrial Revolution na diskubre ang mga computers at ang internet na hanggang ngayon ay ating napapakinabangan. Sa pagpasok ng 1950, naging daan ang Third Industrial Revolution para maimbento at makilala ang mga kagamitan at makabagong teknolohiya tulad ng semiconductors, mainframe computing, personal computing at ang internet. Malaki ang naging pagbabago nito sa buhay ng mga tao lalo higit sa kanilang trabaho. Nagkaroon din ng malaking epekto ito sa pagbabago pagdating sa ilang mga pangkaraniwang kagamitan tulad ng television na dating antena na napalitan ng mga tablets. Dahil sa pagiging digital ng mga kagamitan sa Third Industrial Revolution, labis itong nakaapekto sa mga industriya at lalo higit sa pandaigdigang komunikasyon at enerhiya. Naging daan ito upang ang produksyon ay maging automatiko at mas maging mabilis ang produksyon at pagpapalitan ng mga produkto sa iba't ibang bansa. Binigyang puwang ng Third Industrial Revolution ang space expedition, research at biotechnology sa pamamagitan ng mga makabagong teknolohiya. Ang dalawa sa pinaka-naimbento sa Third Industrial Revolution ay ang mga PLCs or Program Logic Computers at ang robot. First of all, what is PLC? A PLC is an industrial computer system that continuously monitors the state of input devices based upon a custom program. Sa madaling salita, ang PLC ay isang uri ng computer na may microprocessor, ngunit walang keyboard, mouse at monitor. Ang mga ganitong uri ng mga computer ay ginawa para sa mga mas komplikadong kapaligiran. It is a unique type of computer hardware made for industrial control system, sequential controls, simple programming, timer, friendly hardware, and reliable controlling capabilities are some of the features. It is made to be incredibly strong so it can survive the extreme industrial conditions including high humidity, vibrations, and electrical noise. Ang mga PLC ay labis na kakaiba sa ibang mga computer dahil sa kakayanan nilang mag-monitor at magkalkula ng malalaking bilang. Karaniwang ginagamit ang mga PLC sa mga washing machine, controlling traffic signals at elevators. Matapos ang Third Industrial Revolution ay ang pagpasok naman ng Fourth Industrial Revolution at tinatawag na FOIR na nabuo ni Klaus Schwab na siyang founder at executive chairman ng World Economic Forum. Ang Fourth Industrial Revolution ay ang panahon ng pagsasanib at pag-usbong ng mga artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, genetic engineering, quantum computing at iba pa. Ang Fourth Industrial Revolution ay mailalarawan sa pamamagitan ng pagpapalabo sa pagitan ng physical, digital at biological na mundo. Naging dahilan ang Fourth Industrial Revolution para magbago ang paraan ng ating pagtatrabaho, pakikipagkomunikasyon, edukasyon, gobyerno, kalusugan at ng ating pamumuhay. Ito rin ang magiging daan sa kung paano mababago ang pagtingin natin sa isang bagay na labis nating pinapahalagahan. Ang Fourth Industrial Revolution ay nagsimula noon magpahanggang sa ngayon. Labis ito nakatulong at nakapagbigay pagbabago sa ating lipunan. Binago ng Fourth Industrial Revolution ang pamumuhay ng bawat isang tao katulad na lamang ng mga magsasaka na naging factory worker. Ang Fourth Industrial Revolution ay ang tagpo kung saan karamihan sa mga pangarap noon ng bawat isang individual ay naisakatuparan.
Let us talk about the inventions of the four phases of Industrial Revolution and inventor. The first inventor was James Watt. He was born on January 19, 1736 and died on August 25, 1819. Dahil ang kanyang ama ay isang karpintero, nakalikha si James Watt ng iba't ibang laruang mekanikal. Bagaman hindi siya nakapag-aral, ay lubos namang nakatulong sa kanya ang pagbabasa ng iba't ibang libro upang makalikha ng iba't ibang instrumento. At isa na nga rito ay ang kanyang imbensyon na steam engine. At ngayon nga ay dadako na tayo sa pagpapakilala ng iba't ibang inbensyon. At ang unang imbensyon nga ay ang steam engine na ginawa mismo ni James Watt. Ang steam engine na ito ay ginagamit sa prime mover in pumps, locomotives, steamships, traction engines, steam lorries, and other road vehicles. It was a simple device that used boiling water to create mechanical motion to be utilized in useful work. The next inventor was James Hargreaves. He was born on December 13, 1720 and died on April 22, 1778. He was an English weaver, carpenter, and inventor who lived and worked in Lancashire, England. Isa din siya sa tatlong responsable sa mechanization of spinning. He also credited with inventing the spinning jenny in 1764. At ano nga ba ang spinning jenny na ito? Ang spinning jenny ay isang makina na gumagamit ng malaking gulong upang paikutin ng maraming spindle of threads ng sabay-sabay. Sinasabi rin na it would revolutionize the process of cotton spinning. The machine used 8 spindles onto which the thread was spun. So by turning a single wheel, the operator could now spin 8 threads at once. And sinasabi rin na it increased the production ability of textile manufacturing and was particularly important for cotton. Next inventor was Ellie Whitney. Ellie Whitney was born on December 8, 1765 and died on January 8, 1825. Mas kilala siya sa kanyang imbensyon na cotton gin at bago ang kanyang imbensyon ay kinakailangan pa ng pagsasaka ng daang-daang oras ng mga tao upang paghiwalayin ng cotton seed mula sa hilaw na mga cotton fibers. Ang cotton gin ay isang makina na mabilis at madaling naghihiwalay ng mga cotton fibers mula sa kanilang mga buto na nagbigay daan sa higit na produktibo kaysa sa manong-manong paghihiwalay ng cotton. Thomas Alva Edison was born on February 11, 1847 and died on October 18, 1931. He was an American inventor and a businessman. He also exerted a tremendous influence on modern life, contributing inventions such as the incandescent light bulb, the phonograph, the motion picture camera, as well as improving the telegraph and telephone. At ilan nga sa kanyang invention ay ang incandescent light bulb, incandescent lamp, or incandescent light globe. Ang incandescent light bulb is an electronic light with a wire filament heated until it glows. Edison's lamp would consist of filament housed in a glass vacuum bulb. He had his own glass glowing shed where the fragile bulbs were carefully crafted for his experiment. Next inventor was Edmund Cartwright. He was born on April 24, 1743 and died on October 30, 1823. He was an English inventor for the first wheel combining machine which had profound impact on the production in England and around the world during the Industrial Revolution. At ang power loom nga na ito ay isang mekanisadong aparato na ginagamit nga sa paghahabi ng tela at mga tapisarya na nasabi ko nga kanina. At noong 1750, mayroon lamang na 260,000 na power loom na ino-operate sa England. Naging Lancashire loom ito pagkatapos ng 47 years. At makalipas naman ang 50 years, ang Northrop loom ay naimbento. Ito ay pumalit sa Lancashire na nagpupuna sa mga shuttle kapag ito ay walang laman. Samuel Crompton was born on December 3, 1753 and died on June 26, 1827. He was an English inventor and pioneer of the spinning industry, building on the work of James Hargreaves and Richard Arkwright. At ang kanyang isa sa invention ay yung spinning mule, natagpuan sa collection ng Bolton Museum and Archive Service. At sinasabi na ito ay mas napapadali ito ang pagpuproduce ng yarn dahil nga ito ay ginagamit sa pag-spin ng cotton and other fibers. At 1,000 spindles ang nagagawa nito sa isang gawaan lamang. At ngayon naman ay pag-uusapan natin ang Second Industrial Revolution na naganap noong 1870 hanggang 1914. Tinawag rin ito ang the Technological Revolution because it was a time of great technological advancement. That period of time was marked also by rapid changes in communication and manufacturing technologies. Steel production, automobile, advances in electricity, discoveries in the field of electricity, improved communication technologies is other example of technological advancement. The last topic is about economic effects of Second Industrial Revolution that happened in 1870 to 1890. Mas lumaganap ang economic inequality na nagresulta noong Second Industrial Revolution. The affluent factory owners and those who possess the means of production ay mas yumaman. Ang mga may-ari ng factory ay yumaman, while the workers who were employed in these factories frequently stayed in poverty. At yung mga manggagawa ay nanatili pa rin o naiwan sa baba. Mahirap pa rin sila katulad sa panahon ngayon.
Good day everyone, I am your presenter for this part, the social effects that caused the Second Industrial Revolution. The number one of the social effects is urbanization increased rapidly. Families were separated as the place of work shifted from the home to others. Work lost its seasonal quality. Increased dramatically of the pace of work driven by machines. The overall health of the workforce declined. The availability of work became unpredictable. Artisans and craftsmen lost their livelihoods, and a much greater portion of the population could afford factory-made goods. That is the social effects that caused the Second Industrial Revolution. This is the three important innovations in the Second Industrial Revolution. The number one of that is advancement in manufacturing and production technology, the adoption of technological systems, and the internal combustion engine. That is the three important innovations in the Second Industrial Revolution. The example of technology on Second Industrial Revolution is the Morse telegraph in 1844. It is developed in the 1830s and 1840s by Samuel Morse. It is 1791 to 1872. It is the long-distance communication worked by transmitting electrical signals over a wire laid between stations. The telegraph is any device or systems that allows the transmission of information by coded signal over distance developed in the mid-19th century. 100 years was the principal means of transmitting printed information by wire or radio wave. Samuel Finley Breese Morse is an American inventor and painter. He established his reputation as a portrait painter. One of the greatest inventions in the Second Industrial Revolution is a railroad. It is one of the most important phenomena of the Industrial Revolution. It is first developed in Great Britain. It is used a through-steam locomotive running to allow people to flock to cities and allowed people to travel newer places as wheelies. The railroad is one of the best kind of inventions because of the transportation and also the logistics. It is the logistics from raw goods and raw material that allows to travel far away from the city. George Stephenson is an English engineer and principal inventor of the railroad locomotive. He successfully applied the steam technology of the day and created the world's first successful locomotive. The practical typewriter that invented on February 14, 1819, Christopher Latham Sholes invented the typewriter. It is responsible for the QWERTY keyboard layout still in use today. Christopher Sholes invented the first practical typewriter and introduced the keyboard layout that familiar today. He also experimented early on with different versions. Telephone, the one that invention that changed the shape of the world by communications. Instrument designed for the simultaneous transmission and reception of the human voice. It is inexpensive and simple to operate. Offer an immediate and personal type of communication. That is the telephone that invented by Alexander Graham Bell. Alexander Graham Bell is a Scottish-born inventor, scientist, and engineer credited with inventing and patenting the first practical telephone.
Characteristics of the Third Industrial Revolution: shifting to renewable energy, converting buildings into power plants, hydrogen and other energy storage technology, smart grid technology, plug-in, electric, hybrid, and fuel cell-based transportation. Sa madaling sabi, ang karakteristik ng Third Industrial Revolution ay ang pagkalat ng automation at digitalization sa pamamagitan ng paggamit ng electronics at computer at ang pag-imbento ng internet at ang pagtuklas ng nuclear energy. The Fourth Industrial Revolution is a way of describing the blurring of boundaries between the physical, digital, and biological worlds. By means of this fusion of advantages in artificial intelligence, robotics, the Internet of Things, generic engineering, quantum computing, and more. The Fourth Industrial Revolution is a term coined in 2016 by Klaus Schwab. He is the founder and executive chairman of the World Economic Forum. It creates a world in which virtual and physical system of manufacturing cooperate with each other in a flexible way at the global level. However, it's not only about smart and connected machines and system. Its scope is much wider, kung saan sabay-sabay na nangyayari ang pag-unlad sa mga lugar mula sa pagkakasunod-sunod ng gene hanggang sa nanotechnology, mula sa mga nababagong enerhiya hanggang sa quantum computing. Moreover, the Fourth Industrial Revolution fundamentally different from previous revolutions. Effects and advantages of the Fourth Technological Revolution. First is the dizzying speed of change and need to adapt, kung saan ito ang mabilis na pagbabago na kinakailangan nating angkupan. Second is the burgeoning cyber risk that force us to ramp up cybersecurity, o ang pag-usbong ng mga panganib na nagdudulot ng pagpapalakas ng cybersecurity o pagprotekta dulot ng mga digital attacks. Next is the high dependence on technology and so-called digital gap. Ito ay ang pagdepende sa teknolohiya na tinatawag ding digital gap. And lastly, the lack of qualified staff. Dahil dito, naging malaking hamon sa Fourth Technological Revolution ang 4.0 na employment. At the start of the process, a McKinsey Global Report confirmed that up to 800 million jobs will have disappeared by 2030 as a result of automation. However, this may be also an opportunity because a novel technologies emerge, so will new professions that will create millions of jobs in new sectors. The conclusion of the Industrial Revolution was the creation of many inventions that improve manufacturing capabilities of certain industries and improve the economy. Inadvertently, this also led to rise of poverty and unemployment as the demands of manual labor was reduced. Many of these theories had positive effects, but quite had a few negative effects. The new scientific theories was mostly positive, because many resulted in inventions that improved the quality of life for most people. Social changes had both positive and negative impacts. However, many of the negative impacts such as poor working conditions and child labor were reformed through formation of labor unions and passage of child labor laws. Economic changes were also mostly positive, as firms become more competitive and enjoy economies of scale in the industry. Transport costs will also be driven down. The revolution in the transportation trade industry is also creating job opportunities for delivery agents and freelancers via digital platforms. However, the inequality between countries began to grow, depending if the country was industrialized or not.
And that's it for our presentation about the Industrial Revolution. We hope you have understood something new. And again, thank you for taking time to listen to our prepared presentation. God bless.